Congratulations on choosing a fine sonar and GPS navigator, the Lowrance LMS 350. Before we begin, please be advised that this video is not intended to replace the operation instructions issued by the manufacturer, rather to supplement the information. Also note that this video should not be used in any manner during actual navigation. The program owners, producers, and distributors assume no responsibility for any consequential losses of any nature. First, let us begin with the sonar operation of your unit. When the LMS 350 is first turned on, the automatic feature is enabled. The automatic feature adjusts the sensitivity and range so the bottom signal is displayed in the lower half of the screen at all times. To turn automatic off, first press the auto key. Press the left arrow key to switch to the manual mode. The letters MAN appear in the upper left corner of the display, indicating the unit is in the manual mode. To turn automatic on, press the auto key again, then press the right arrow key. The sensitivity key on the LMS 350A controls the ability of the unit to pick up echoes. A low sensitivity level excludes much of the bottom information, fish signals, and other target information. High sensitivity levels enables you to see this detail, but it can also clutter the screen with many undesired signals. When the LMS 350A is in the automatic mode, the sensitivity is automatically adjusted to keep a solid bottom signal displayed, plus a little more. This gives it the capability to show fish and other detail. There are situations, however, where it becomes necessary to increase or decrease the sensitivity. To adjust the sensitivity, press the Sends key. To increase the sensitivity level, press the right arrow key. As you press the key, the menu's bar graph will grow wider and the percentage will increase in value. You can also see the difference on the chart record as it scrolls. When the sensitivity is at the desired level, release the key. To decrease the sensitivity level, press the key adjacent to the left arrow. When the sensitivity is at the desired level, release the key. When you reach either the maximum or minimum limit, a tone sounds. To turn the menus off, press the clear key, or wait a few seconds and the menus will automatically disappear. When turned on for the first time, the LMS 350A automatically places the bottom signal in the lower half of the screen. This is called auto-ranging and is part of the automatic function. The range cannot be changed manually while the unit is in automatic. The LMS 350A gives you control over the range when it's in the manual mode. There are two different methods used to change the range. To change the range, first make certain that the LMS 350A is in the manual mode. Next, press the range key. To change only the lower limit, simply press the up or down arrow keys to decrease or increase the range. After the desired range is displayed, press the clear key to erase the range menu. To change an upper or lower limit using the numbered keys, first press the range key, then press the key next to either the change upper limit or change lower limit labels. Now enter the desired depth using the numbered keys. Now press the Enter key. The LMS 350A erases the range menus from the screen and uses the new range you entered. To change the lower limit, simply repeat the steps, but press the key next to the Change Lower Limit label. Now enter the desired lower limit and press the Enter key. The LMS 350A erases the lower limit menus and changes the lower limit to the one you specified. If you make a mistake while entering a limit, simply press the Clear key to erase the numbers. To exit from either the upper limit or lower limit entry screen, simply press the Clear key again. Enlarging or zooming the picture is a common method used to show small detail and fish signals. The LMS350A gives you two different zoom sizes, plus a split-screen zoom option. The zoom operation and adjustment is different in the automatic and manual modes. To zoom the display in the automatic mode, first press the zoom key. All targets on the menu are enlarged 4 times normal size automatically. Turn the zoom feature on or off by pressing the key adjacent to the off-on label. Pressing the key adjacent to the 2 times 4 times label enlarges echoes from 2 times to 4 times their normal size. To switch between the split screen zoom and full screen zoom, press the key adjacent to the split full label. The screen instantly splits into 2 sections. All targets on the left are shown at 4 times the size of the ones on the right. If you switch to the 2 times zoom mode, echoes on the left side of the screen are shown at twice the size as the ones on the right. The echoes that scroll across the screen are the exact same echoes on both sides of the screen. They're simply enlarged on the left side. This feature tracks the bottom, keeping it on the display at all times when the automatic feature is on. Once you've set the zoom as desired, press the clear key to erase the menus. To adjust the zoom in the manual mode, press the key adjacent to the Adjust label. A zoom bar and adjust arrows appear on the screen. The echoes on the left side of the screen are the ones that appear between the top and bottom of the zoom bar. Press the up or down arrow keys to move the zoom bar up or down. As you adjust the zoom bar, the echoes move on the left side of the screen at the same time. The zoom adjust menus will automatically clear a few seconds after you've pressed the last key. Remember, the LMS350A won't track the bottom when it's in the manual mode. The rate echoes scroll across the screen is called the chart speed. It's adjustable by first pressing the menu key, then pressing the key adjacent to the Adjust Chart Speed label. Increase the chart speed by pressing the right arrow key, or decrease it by pressing the left arrow key. The percentage of chart speed in use changes as the arrow keys are pressed. The bar chart also gives a graphical indication of the chart speed. After you've made the adjustment, press the clear key to erase the menu. To stop the chart, press the key adjacent to the Stop label in the unit's lower left corner. To start the chart, press the key next to the Start label. Gray line lets you distinguish between strong and weak echoes. It paints gray on targets that are stronger than a preset value. This allows you to tell the difference between a hard and soft bottom. If you have 2 signals of equal size, one with gray and the other without, then the target with gray is the stronger signal. This helps distinguish weeds from trees on the bottom or fish from structure. Gray line is adjustable. Since gray line shows the difference between strong and weak signals, adjusting the sensitivity may require a different gray line level also. The level chosen by the LMS350A at power on is usually adequate for most conditions. Experiment with your unit to find the gray line setting that's best for you. To adjust gray line, press the menu key. Then press the key adjacent to the Adjust Chart Gray Line label. Now press the left arrow key to decrease the gray level. Press the right arrow key to increase it. The percentage of gray line in use changes as the arrow keys are pressed. The bar chart also gives a graphical indication of the gray line level. After you've made the adjustment, press the clear key to erase the menu. The Fish ID feature identifies targets that meet certain conditions as fish. The microcomputer analyzes all echoes and eliminates surface clutter, thermoclines, and other signals that are undesirable. In most instances, remaining targets are fish. The Fish ID feature displays symbols on the screen in place of the actual fish echoes. There are 4 fish symbol sizes: tiny, small, medium, and large. These are used to designate the relative size between targets. In other words, it displays a small fish symbol when it thinks a target is a small fish, a medium fish symbol on a larger target, etc. To turn the Fish ID feature on, press the menu key and then press the key adjacent to the Turn Fish ID On label. Echoes will continue to scroll across the screen. However, the surface clutter at the top will no longer be displayed. Any targets the microcomputer determines are fish will be displayed as fish symbols. To turn the Fish ID feature off again, first press the menu key. Next, press the key adjacent to the Turn Fish ID Off label. Remember, the Fish ID feature can't be used when the LMS350A is in the manual mode. If you turn the Fish ID feature on when the LMS350A is in manual, the microcomputer will turn the automatic feature on. If you turn automatic off when the Fish ID feature is on, the Fish ID feature will be turned off also. The unit's display contrast is adjustable to suit different lighting conditions. To adjust it, first press the menu key. Now press the key next to the Adjust Display Contrast label. Now press the key adjacent to the left arrow to decrease the contrast. Press the key adjacent to the right arrow to increase it. After you've made the adjustment, press the clear key to erase the menu. To adjust an alarm, first press the menu key. Now press the key next to the Adjust Alarms label. Press the key next to the Set Depth or GPS alarms to adjust the shallow or deep digital alarms. Press the key next to the Set Zone alarm to adjust the zone alarm. The fish alarm doesn't have an adjustment. It's either on or off. Use the fish alarm for a distinctive audible alarm when the fish or other suspended objects are detected by the Fish ID feature. A different tone sounds for each fish symbol size shown on the display. To turn the fish alarm on, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the Adjust Alarms label. Now press the key next to the Turn Fish Alarm On label. To turn the fish alarm off, repeat the steps again. The depth alarms sound a tone when the bottom signal goes shallower than the shallow alarms setting or deeper than the deep alarms setting. Both alarms work only off the digital bottom depth signals. No other targets will trip these alarms. These alarms can be used at the same time or by themselves. To set the depth alarms, first press the menu key and then press the key next to the Adjust Alarms label. Now press the key next to the Set Depth Alarms label. To adjust the shallow alarm, press the key next to the Shallow label. To adjust the deep alarm, press the key next to the Deep label. Both alarms adjust identically. We'll use the shallow alarm as an example. Pressing the key next to the Shallow label moves the black box from the off position to the adjust. Use the numbered keypad on the right side of the unit to enter the shallow alarm setting. After you've entered the desired alarm depth, press the Enter key. This enters the alarm depth into memory. Now press the key next to the Exit label. The shallow alarm is now set. If the bottom goes shallower than 10 feet, the alarm will sound, and a warning message appears on the screen at the same time. A label also appears, letting you mute the alarm if desired. The zone alarm consists of a bar that appears on the right side of the screen. Any echo that appears on the screen between the top and bottom of the zone alarm's bar will trip the zone alarm. To set the zone alarm, press the menu key. Now press the key next to the Adjust Alarms label. Finally, press the key next to the Set Zone Alarm label. The zone alarm bar shows on the right side of the screen. Use the arrow keys to move the bottom of the bar higher or lower. To move the top of the bar, first press the key next to the Change to Upper label. Now use the arrow keys to move the top of the bar higher or lower. When you have the zone alarm bar set as desired, press the clear key to erase the menus. These steps automatically turn the zone alarm on if it was off. To turn the zone alarm off, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the Adjust Alarms label. Now press the key next to the Turn Zone Alarm Off label at the bottom of the screen. The LMS 350A operates from 50 or 192 kilohertz, either independently or simultaneously. The chart can operate from a different frequency than the digital sonar. The LMS 350A chart's operating frequency is 192 kilohertz when it's first turned on. To change frequencies, first press the menu key. Next, press the key adjacent to the Select Sonar Frequency label. This menu lets you change the frequency of both the chart and the digital sonar. Typically, you should use the 192 kilohertz frequency in shallow water and the 50 kilohertz frequency in deep water. Now press the key adjacent to the desired frequency, either 50 kilohertz, 192 kilohertz, or both 50 and 192 kilohertz split screen operation. The unit will begin scrolling echoes across the display. The frequency in use will also be displayed at the bottom of the screen. Sensitivity and gray line adjust differently when the dual frequency feature is enabled. The LMS 350A lets you make changes to the sensitivity and gray line on one side of the screen without affecting the other. To adjust the sensitivity, for example, first press the Sends key. To adjust the sensitivity for the left or 50 kilohertz side of the screen, press the key adjacent to the 192 kilohertz, 50 kilohertz label. Now press the left arrow key to decrease the sensitivity, or the right arrow to increase it. When you're finished, press the clear key to erase the menus. The LMS 350A has internal lights for the display and keyboard. To adjust the intensity of the lighting, press the menu key. Then press the key adjacent to the More label. Now press the key next to the Adjust Backlight Level label. Now press the left arrow key to decrease the light level. Press the right arrow key to increase it. The percentage of backlight in use changes as the arrow keys are pressed. After you've made the adjustment, press the clear key to erase the menu. To turn the backlighting on, first press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label. Finally, press the key next to the Turn Backlight On/Off label. The volume of the speaker's amplifier is adjustable. To change the volume, press the menu key. Then press the key adjacent to the More label. Now press the key next to the Adjust Speaker Volume label. A musical tune sounds to indicate the current speaker volume. Now press the left arrow key to decrease the volume level. Press the right arrow key to increase it. After you've made the adjustment, press the clear key to erase the menu. The digital box is displayed in the upper left corner of the full sonar screen. It has the digital depth and automatic manual indicators. To turn this box off, press the menu key. Then the key next to the More label. Then the key adjacent to the Turn Digital Instrument Box Off label. Repeat these steps to turn the box on. The LMS 350A can display the depth, speed, surface water temperature, and distance log in the upper left portion of the screen. When the LMS 350A is first turned on, only the depth is displayed. You can turn each digital display on as desired, or turn all of them off as desired. To select the digital displays menu, first press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label. Next, press the key adjacent to the Construct Digital Instrument Box menu. Now press the key adjacent to the desired display. You can turn each display on or off individually. Press the clear key to exit from this menu, or wait approximately 10 seconds and the menus will automatically clear. When the unit is in the zoom mode, the zoom bar doesn't normally show on the screen. The zoom bar shows the section of water on the right side of the screen that the zoom feature displays on the left side. To turn the zoom bar on continuously, first press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label 2 times. Now press the key next to the Display Zoom Bar label. To turn the zoom bar off, repeat these steps until the third menu page appears. Then press the key adjacent to the Remove Zoom Bar label. This removes the zoom bar, but leaves the unit in the zoom mode. When the zone alarm is on, the zone bar doesn't normally show on the screen. To turn the zone bar on continuously, first press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the third menu page appears. Now press the key next to the Display Zone Alarm Bar label. This turns the zone alarm on at the same time. To turn the zone bar off, repeat these steps until the third menu page appears. Then press the key adjacent to the Remove Zone Bar label. Note that this doesn't turn the zone alarm off. When the LMS 350A is turned on for the first time, the digital depth display is located at the top left corner of the screen. It displays only the bottom depth. If it loses the bottom, the last known depth will flash on the display. When the digital finds the bottom, it will automatically display the bottom depth again. The digital sonar can be turned off. However, this also turns all automatic features off also, such as auto sensitivity, auto ranging, and the fish ID feature. To turn the digital sonar off, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the third menu page appears. Now press the key adjacent to the Turn Digital Sonar Off label. To turn it back on again, repeat the same steps. To turn the LMS 350A into a GPS-only unit, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the third menu page appears. Now press the key next to the Turn All Sonar Off label. This stops both the chart and the digital sonar. To turn both of the sonars on again, repeat these steps. Then press the key next to the Turn All Sonar On label. The LMS 350A has a chart cursor that lets you pinpoint a target's depth. The cursor is simply a movable horizontal line that extends across the display from right to left. A depth box at the far right end of the line shows the line's depth. To turn the chart cursor on, press the menu key until the third menu screen appears as shown. Now press the key next to the Turn Chart Cursor On label. To move the chart cursor, press the up or down arrow keys. This lets you move the cursor to verify a target's depth. To turn the chart cursor off, press the menu key until the third menu screen appears. Now press the key next to the Turn Chart Cursor Off label. This feature converts all echoes to short horizontal lines on the display's far right side. The graph continues to operate normally. Fast Track gives you a rapid update of conditions directly under the boat. When the unit is not moving, fish signals are long, drawn-out lines on a normal chart display. Fast Track converts the chart to a vertical bar graph. To turn Fast Track on, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the fourth menu page appears. Now press the key adjacent to the Turn Chart Fast Track On label. To turn it off, repeat the same steps. The Turn Fast Track Off label appears on this page when the Fast Track is on. Press the key next to this label to turn it off. The LMS 350A can display the water depth in feet, fathoms, or meters, surface water temperature in degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius, speed in statute miles per hour, kilometers per hour, or knots, and distance log in miles, kilometers, or nautical miles. To change the units of measure, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the fourth menu page appears. Now press the key adjacent to the Select Units of Measure label. The black box on each line shows the unit of measure currently in use. In the screen shown, the units of measure are in feet for the depth, temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, speed is in statute miles per hour, and log is in statute miles. Press the key adjacent to the unit that you wish to change. When you have the units of measure set as desired, press the key next to the Exit label. If the optional speed temperature sensor is attached to the LMS 350A, it starts counting distance as soon as the unit is turned on. It saves the distance in memory, even when the unit is turned off. To reset the distance log to 0, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the Clear Distance Log label appears. Then press the key adjacent to that label. The LMS 350A prints depth lines across the display that corresponds to the scales on the right side of the screen, as shown on the screen at right. To turn the depth lines on, first press the menu until the fourth menu page appears. Now press the key next to the Turn Depth Lines On label. To turn the depth lines off, repeat these steps. The label on the fourth menu page now reads Turn Depth Lines Off. Press the key next to that label. The LMS 350A returns to the sonar screen. The markings extending downward from the 0 line on the chart are called surface clutter. The Surface Clarity Control, SCC, reduces or eliminates surface clutter signals from the display. SCC varies the sensitivity of the receiver, decreasing it near the surface and gradually increasing it as the depth increases. The maximum depth that SCC will affect is 75% of the selected depth range. There are 3 levels of SCC available on the LMS 350A: low, medium, and high. When it's turned on for the first time, the SCC level is low. To change it, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the 5th menu page appears. Now press the key adjacent to the Surface Clarity label until the black box is on the desired SCC level. Press the key next to the Exit label when you're finished. The ASP feature is a noise rejection system built into the LMS 350A that constantly evaluates the effects of boat speed, water conditions, and interference. This automatic feature gives you the best display possible under most conditions. The ASP feature has 2 levels, normal and high. If you have a high noise level, try using the high ASP setting. However, if you're having trouble with noise, we suggest that you take steps to find the interference source and fix it, rather than continually using the unit with the high ASP setting. However, there are times when you may want to turn the ASP feature off. This allows you to view all incoming echoes before they're processed by the ASP feature. To change the ASP level, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the fifth menu page appears. Then press the key next to the level of ASP label until the desired level is obtained. The System Information menu gives you the date and revision numbers of the software used in the LMS 350A. To view this menu, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the fifth menu page appears. Now press the key next to the System Information label. To return to the sonar screen, press the key next to the Exit label. The LMS 350A has a built-in memory that saves all settings, such as sensitivity, chart speed, keel offset, speed calibration, and more. Virtually all settings, except for waypoint and route information, is saved in this memory. You can, however, return the LMS 350A to its factory settings using the preset feature. This returns all sonar and GPS receiver settings at the same time. To use this feature, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label until the fifth menu page appears. Next, press the key adjacent to the Preset Sonar and GPS label. The screen will clear and return to the sonar display with the factory settings. The keel offset feature lets you compensate for the transducer's location. The speed display on the sonar screens comes from the optional speed sensor, not the GPS receiver. To calibrate this sensor to your boat, first press the menu key 6 times while a sonar screen is showing. Now press the key next to the Calibrate Speed label. The calibration in percent is shown in the upper right corner. Now enter the percent change that is needed to make the LMS 350 speed display match your actual speed. When you have the speedometer calibrated, press the key next to the Exit label to return to the sonar screen. The LMS 350A gives you the ability to turn this battery on or off. Turning it off causes the LMS 350A to forget all system settings each time you turn the unit off. This, in effect, presets the unit each time it's turned off. To turn the battery back up, off, or on again, press the menu key until the screen shown at right appears. Now press the key next to the Disable Battery Backup label. The unit returns to the last used sonar, GPS, Windows, or plotter screen with the battery turned off. To turn it on again, repeat these steps. In order for the LMS 350A to lock onto the satellites, it must first find them. If you simply turn the unit on and wait, the unit will find the satellites by itself in 15 minutes or less. This is called cold start. If you let it find the satellites, the time display will probably be wrong, since it will be showing UTC time, or the time at Greenwich, England. However, all other navigation displays, including the position display, will be correct. You can set the time to your local time. To speed up the satellite acquisition process, you can initialize the LMS 350A or tell it where it is the first time it's turned on. This initialization process is usually done only once. The unit only takes a few minutes or less to find the satellites once it's been initialized by the user. Press the On key, then press the GPS key. Next, press the menu key. Now press the key next to the Change GPS Settings label. Finally, press the key next to the Set Latitude, Longitude, Altitude, Time, Date label. The settings now in use are shown at the top of the display. A black box surrounds the latitude box. If you're using the unit for the first time, these settings are probably wrong for your position and time. Note that if you don't use the cold start feature, you will have to change all of the settings on this page to their correct values. In other words, you can't simply enter your present position and have the unit find the correct values by itself. Use a chart to determine your position if you don't know it. The latitude-longitude that you enter doesn't have to be extremely accurate. Typically, if you enter a position within 1 degree of your present position, the LMS 350A should quickly find your actual latitude-longitude. To change your present position, first move the black box to the latitude box, if it isn't there already. Next, change the key next to the Change Latitude label. Next, simply enter your present latitude using the numbered keys. Notice that the position entered is in degrees, minutes, and hundredths of a minute, not seconds. If you make a mistake, press the left or right arrow keys to move to the number in the latitude that needs changing. Press the key next to the Latitude NS label to change the latitude from north to south, if necessary. After the latitude has been entered, press the key next to the Accept Latitude label. Now, enter the longitude using the numbered keys. Be certain to enter a 0 as the first number in the longitude if it's less than 100 degrees. After you've entered the last number, press the key next to the Longitude WE label to change it from west to east if necessary. When everything in the longitude field is correct, press the key next to the Accept Longitude label. To enter your present altitude, move the black box to the altitude field using the arrow keys. Now press the key next to the Change Altitude label. The LMS 350A needs to know your elevation above sea level, not your height above ground. Again, an approximation is usually sufficient. Use the numbered keys to enter your altitude data. Press the key next to the Altitude Plus label if your altitude is below sea level. To change the local time, the time at your position, press the arrow keys to move the black box to the local time field. Now press the key next to the Change Time label. Use the number keys to enter the time. Remember to enter a 0 first if the time is less than 10. Press the key next to the Time AM/PM label to change the time from AM to PM. Press the key next to the Accept Time label when you're finished. To enter today's date, press the arrow keys to move the black box to the local date field. Now press the key next to the Change Date label. Use the number keys to enter the date. Press the key next to the Accept Date label when you're finished. The numbers at the top of the screen should be correct. If they aren't, press the key next to the label that you need to change. If everything is correct, press the key next to the Exit label. The unit will switch to the position screen and start searching for the satellites currently in view. It should find the satellites and show a position in a few minutes. When the LMS 350A is turned on for the first time out of the box, it automatically sends a cold start message to the GPS receiver. You can also send a cold start message to the receiver. If the unit can't lock onto the satellites using the data you've given it, or if it has trouble finding the satellites, perhaps it is using the wrong data. To send a cold start message to the receiver, press the menu key. Now press the key next to the Change GPS Settings label. And finally, press the key next to the GPS Cold Start label. The unit will begin a cold start technique to find the available satellites. It should lock onto them in 15 minutes or less. Remember, when it does, your local time and possibly date display will probably be wrong. Use the method shown previously to set the time and date to their proper local settings. And once this is done, an internal clock will keep the correct time, even when the unit is turned off. The GPS system updates this clock when the unit is locked onto the satellites. Please note that if the data shown in digital numbers on any screen on this unit is flashing, then it means that data is invalid. Do not rely on that data if it is flashing. For example, if the position display is flashing, then the unit has lost the satellites and hasn't reacquired them. The position that is flashing is your last known position, not your present position. Do not navigate with this unit until you've found the reason the unit has lost the satellites. The satellite information screen shows technical data about each satellite in view. To see this display, press the menu key, then press the key next to the Satellite Information label. The LMS 350A has a 5-channel GPS receiver. Data on each channel is shown at the top of the display. The channels are numbered 1 through 5 on the left side of the screen. Every satellite in the constellation has a number assigned to it called the PRN. The PRN is the first number in the channel's row. TRK stands for track. If the LMS 350A is tracking the satellite, then a T is placed in this column. If the LMS 350A is searching for the satellite, then an S appears. ELV is the elevation or height of the satellite above the horizon from your position. AZM is the azimuth or direction of the satellite from your position. For example, if the azimuth of a satellite is 180 degrees, then it is due south. SNR is the signal-to-noise ratio that tells you how strong the satellite signal is. The higher the SNR number, the better. The satellites that are visible in the sky from your position are shown in the right side of the screen under Visible Sats heading. In the upper right corner of the screen are the DOPS displays. These show you the dilution of precision, the DOP for the horizontal, HDOP, geometric, GDOP, position, PDOP, time, TDOP, and vertical, BDOP. The GDOP is the combination value of HDOP, VDOP, and TDOP. The smaller the GDOP's number is, the better. The GPS receiver selects satellites based on GDOP. Therefore, it always tries to use satellites that have good DOP values. These depend on the azimuth and elevation of the satellite and any ground-based obstructions. Remember, the smaller the number, the better on all of the DOPs. At the bottom of the screen are the present position, speed over ground, the SOG, course over ground, COG, distance to go to waypoint, DTG, bearing to waypoint, BRG, and local time and date displays. These displays are customizable. The position screen automatically appears after the LMS 350A is initialized, or if you can view this screen at any time by pressing the GPS key. The position display shows your present position in large numbers at the top of the screen, and speed over ground, SOG, course over ground, COG, distance to go, DTG, to waypoint, bearing to waypoint, time to go, TTG, to waypoint, and local time and date displays at the bottom of the screen. Your present position shows at the top of the screen in latitude, longitude coordinates. This is shown in degrees, minutes, and thousandths of a minute. Please note that you must recall a waypoint to use the bearing, distance to go, and time to go displays. The steering screen shows a pictorial view of your boat and course traveled. This is called a course deviation indicator, or CDI. It shows distance to go, DTG, bearing to waypoint, BRG, route name, cross-track error, XTE, time to go to waypoint, TTG, and waypoint name. Press the menu key. Then press the key next to the steer screen to view this display. Your present position is shown by the arrow. The arrow shows the direction the boat is heading relative to the waypoint. In theory, if you steer the boat with the arrow always pointing towards the waypoint, then you will arrive at the waypoint. The solid line extending from the arrow is your track or path you've taken. To travel directly to a waypoint, try to keep the arrow on the center line. The waypoint is depicted by a box at the top of the CDI display. As you approach the waypoint, the arrow and the box will move closer together. If you travel past the waypoint's box will move to the bottom of the display. The numbers on the top left side of the screen are distance markers, showing the remaining distance to the recalled waypoint. If the numbers have a black box surrounding them, then the distance markers are showing the distance past the waypoint. In other words, if the numbers are surrounded by a black box, then you've passed the waypoint and need to turn around. The numbers immediately below the CDI are the CDI range in miles. This gives you an idea of how far off course you are. Using the digital displays at the bottom of the screen with the graphical display at the top lets you accurately steer the boat to a waypoint. The digital displays on the bottom half of the position, steering, and satellite screens, plus the displays on the plotter screen, can be changed as desired. To show how this is done, we'll use the position screen as an example. To customize the position screen, first make certain it is showing by pressing the GPS key. Next, press the menu key. Press the key next to the Change Position Display label. The unit returns to the position screen with a black box around the Speed Over Ground SOG label. The letters SOG also flash. The black box and flashing letters identifies the bearing box as ready for change. To change the bearing display, press the up or down arrow keys to select the data that you want to show inside the box. In this example, we changed the Speed Over Ground, the SOG display, to cross-track error by pressing the up arrow key 8 times. To change another digital display, press the left or right arrow key. The label in the next digital display box changes as you press the arrow key. Again, press the up or down arrow key to change the display. When you have the display arranged as desired, press the clear key. This locks the display. Every time you switch to this display, it will appear as you designed it, unless you preset the unit. The plotter lets you see your course and a direction of travel on the screen. If you've recalled a waypoint, the plotter shows your starting location, present position, and destination. However, you do not have to recall a waypoint to use the plotter. To use the plotter, simply press the plotter key. The flashing cross is your present position. The solid line is your track or path you have just traveled. The large square is a compass rose marked with north, south, east, and west. The square's height and width shows at the bottom of the screen. This is the distance from one side to the other and from the top to the bottom. Your present position is shown at the top of the screen. If your present position starts to move outside the square, the LMS 350A clears the display, then redraws your present position closer to the center of the screen. Your present position will always be displayed on the plotter. To clear the plotter screen, see the plotter menus section. On the left side of the screen, below the present position box, are the Speed Over Ground SOG, Distance to Go DTG, and Bearing BRG digital displays. All of these displays are used only when a waypoint is recalled, except COG and Position, which are always active. These displays also can be customized. The plotter cursor can help you determine the latitude, longitude of a waypoint or event marker. To use it, press the up or down arrow key while the plotter is displayed. 2 new lines appear on the screen. These are the plotter cursor lines. The latitude, longitude position of the plotter cursor, not your present position, shows at the top of the screen, along with the distance and bearing from your present position to the intersection of the cursor lines. Use the arrow keys to move the cursor lines to the desired location. To erase the cursor lines, press the clear key. This will also erase the cursor position, distance, and bearing displays at the top of the screen. Using the plotter with a recalled waypoint or route is an easy way to see the effects of wind and current on your boat. It also simplifies navigation. To use the plotter in this manner, first recall a waypoint or start a route. Then press the plotter key. A screen similar to this one appears. The S is your starting location. This was your position when you recalled the waypoint. The flashing circle with a cross is your present position. The flag with a number inside is the destination, the recalled waypoint. The number inside the flag is the recalled waypoint number. In this example, waypoint number 10 is the destination. The dotted line is the shortest, most direct course from the starting point to the destination. Follow this line to get to the waypoint. The arrival alarm is automatically set to sound a tone when you come within a preset distance to the destination when you recall a waypoint. See the section on alarms for more information about the arrival alarm. Pressing the menu key while the plotter displays gives you a new set of menus that relate only to the plotter. There are 2 pages of plotter menus. To clear or erase the solid track line from the screen, use the Clear Plot Menus selection. The plotter will continue to draw your track after this key is pressed, starting from your present position. Use the Set Range menu to change the plotter's range or distance across the plotter's display. The range is 1 statute mile when the LMS 350A is turned on for the first time. The available plotter ranges are 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, and 100 miles. This lets you zoom in to see small variations in your course, or zoom out to see your starting position, present position, track, course, and destination. Pressing this key turns on the icons that you placed on the screen using the Event Marker key. For more information on this feature, see the Event Marker section in your manual. This also turns on all of the waypoint icons. When the LMS 350A is first turned on, or after a preset, the plotter screen has a column of digital displays on the left side of the screen. These displays can be changed or erased completely. This gives you a full screen plotter. To change the plotter display, press the menu key while the plotter is displayed. Now press the key next to the Change Plotter Display label. To change to a full screen plotter display, press the key next to the Full Screen Plotter key. To change digital display boxes, press the key next to the Change Info boxes. The unit returns to the plotter screen with a black box around the position display at the top of the screen as shown. The word Position also flashes, identifying it as ready for change. Press the left or right arrow keys to change the data displayed in that box. To change another digital box, simply press the up or down arrow keys until the desired box's label is flashing. Then use the right or left arrow keys to select the display. When you're finished, press the clear key to exit. When you use the cursor lines, the position of the crosshairs on the display are shown at the top of the screen. Pressing the key next to the Go To Cursor label on the plotter menu causes the LMS 350A to show navigation and steering data to the position shown by the crosshairs. This automatically turns the arrival alarm on. To use this feature, first move the cursor lines to the desired location on the plotter screen. Next, press the menu key. Now press the key adjacent to the More label. Finally, press the key next to the Go To User Cursor label. The unit returns to the plotter screen. A waypoint flag appears on the screen numbered 0. That was the location of the cursor crosshairs when you pressed the key next to the Go To User Cursor label. The digital displays on all screens will show navigation information to this new location. This includes the position, steering, and plotter displays. Remember, this is a temporary waypoint. It's erased when the unit is turned off or if it's preset. The plotter shows your track by drawing a solid line behind your present position. The track is updated once every instance when the unit is turned on for the first time. However, if you're traveling a long distance, the track line may end prematurely due to the limited number of dots available that plot the track. Using a longer update time to change the update rate, press the menu key while the unit is in the plotter mode. Then press the key next to the More label. Now press the key next to the Plot Update Rate label. The screen shown at right appears. The available plot update times are instant, 2, 5, 10, and 20 seconds. Simply press the key next to the desired update time. The plotter can show latitude, longitude grid lines by pressing the key next to the Set Grid Off On label on the second plotter menu page. To turn the grid lines off, repeat the previous step. The LMS 350A can display distance in miles, kilometers, or nautical miles, velocity in miles per hour, kilometers per hour, or knots, bearing in degrees, magnetic or true, altitude in feet or meters, and time in 12-hour or 24-hour format. To change any of these, first press the menu key. Then press the key adjacent to the More label. Now press the key next to the Select Units of Measure label. The black box on each line shows the unit of measure currently in use. Press the key next to the unit that you wish to change. For example, press the key next to the distance label twice to switch from miles to kilometers. This moves the black box 2 times from the MI to the KM. When you have the units of measure set as desired, press the key next to the exit label. To turn the backlighting on, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label. Now press the key next to the Backlight On/Off label. This moves the black box from off to the on position and turns the lights on. To turn the backlights off, repeat these steps. The LMS 350A can place event markers or icons on the plotter to mark fishing spots, shallow water, or other special locations. There are 5 different icons to choose from, and there are 100 of each icon for a total of 500. You can place each icon individually. However, you can't erase a single icon once you've placed it. To erase an icon, you have to erase all of the icons in that group. To place an icon, press the event marker key. Now select one of the 5 icons shown on the left side of the screen by pressing the key next to the desired icon. As soon as you press the key, the LMS 350A places the icon at your present position. This icon always stays in this location. It's saved in memory, so it will always show on the display, even if the unit is turned off and on again. Normally, when you select an icon, it's placed on the plotter at your present position. However, you can place an icon anywhere on the plotter using the cursor. To do this, first press one of the arrow keys. This makes the plotter cursor lines appear on the display. Now move the lines to the desired position on the display by pressing the arrow keys. When it's at the desired location, press the event marker key. Then select an icon. The LMS 350A places the icon at the intersection of the plotter cursor lines. To erase the cursor lines, press the clear key. Although you can place icons on the plotter individually, you can't erase them one at a time. You have to erase the whole group of icons. To erase an icon, first press the event marker key. Next, press the key next to the Delete Icon Bank label. The screen shown appears. Now select the group of icons that you wish to erase by pressing the key next to the desired icon. After pressing the key, the LMS 350A erases all of the selected icons from the plotter. Storing waypoints in the LMS 350's memory make it easy to return to any point in the world by simply pressing a few buttons. The LMS 350A can store up to 200 waypoints. You can store your present position as a waypoint or enter latitude-longitude positions as waypoints. The LMS 350A lets you save your present position as a waypoint with only one key press. This quick save feature lets you easily save the position of a wreck or other locations. To save your present position as waypoint, simply press the waypoint quick save key. The LMS 350A takes your present position and assigns the first available waypoint number to it. The quick save feature doesn't let you select the waypoint number. You have to use the next available number when using that method. The View and Save method lets you pick the waypoint number that your present position is stored in. To save your present position, press the waypoint key. Then press the key next to the waypoint Save label. The first waypoint number in the list appears at the top of the page. This is the number that your present position will be stored under. Your position at the time you press the waypoint key is shown in the current position box in the middle of the screen. If you wish to save the location in the current position box under this waypoint number, simply press the key next to the Use Current Position label. The position shown in the current position box also will show in the waypoint location at the top of the screen. To save the waypoint without naming it, simply press the key next to the Save Waypoint label. To save the location under a different waypoint number, press the key next to the Increase Waypoint Number label to increase the waypoint number. Press the key next to the Decrease Waypoint Number label to decrease the waypoint number, or simply enter the desired waypoint number using the numbered keys. Once you've decided the waypoint number to save the location under, press the key next to the Use Current Position label. Then press the key next to the Save Waypoint label. To save a location other than your present position, first press the waypoint key, then press the key next to the waypoint Save label. Using the up and down arrows, move the black box down to the latitude-longitude position. Now press the down arrow key to the latitude position. Press the key next to the Change Latitude label. Now enter the location you wish to save using the numbered keys. Use the left arrow key as a backspace if you made a mistake. Press the key next to the Latitude NS label to change the N to an S if your latitude is south. After you've entered the latitude, press the key next to the Accept Latitude label. Next, using the arrow keys, move the black box to the longitude position and press the key next to the Change Longitude label. Now enter the longitude. Make certain to add a 0 to the longitude if it's less than 100 degrees. Then press the key next to the Longitude WE label to change it from west to east if necessary. Press the key next to the Accept Longitude label when you've finished. The Save Waypoint menu appears with the position you entered in the waypoint position box at the top of the screen. If this position is correct, press the key next to the Save Waypoint label. To assign a name to a waypoint, first press the key next to the Increase Waypoint or Decrease Waypoint label to move through the list of waypoints. When the desired waypoint appears in the window, press the down arrow key until the black box moves to the Name position. Now press the key next to the Change Name label. Use the keys on both sides of the screen to enter the waypoint name. For example, to name a waypoint Cove 1, press the alarm key repeatedly until the letter C appears in the window. Next, press the right arrow key to move the black box to the next letter position. Now press the waypoint recall key repeatedly until the O appears on the screen. Repeat this process until the entire name has been written on the screen. Now press the key next to the Accept Name label. The LMS 350A returns to the waypoint Save menu as shown. To save the waypoint with this name, first press the key next to the Save Waypoint label. Now press the key next to the Exit label to exit this menu. To erase a waypoint, first press the waypoint key and then press the key next to the waypoint Save label. Now press the key next to the Increase Waypoint or Decrease Waypoint label until the desired waypoint number appears on the screen. Simply press the key next to the Erase Waypoint label. A message appears on the screen that says, "Wait, delete waypoint. Are you sure?" If you are certain that this is the waypoint that you wish to erase, press the key next to the Yes arrow. If not, press the key next to the No arrow. Press the key next to the Yes arrow to erase all information from the displayed waypoint number. To recall a waypoint, first press the waypoint key. Then press the key next to the Waypoint Recall label. Now press the key next to the increase waypoint or decrease waypoint label until the desired waypoint number appears on the screen, or simply enter the waypoint number using the numbered keys. When it does, simply press the key next to the Go To waypoint label. The LMS 350A begins showing navigation data to the waypoint. A route gives you the ability to navigate to several waypoints without having to reprogram the unit after arriving at each one. To create a route, first press the menu key, then press the key next to the More label. Finally, press the key next to the Route Planning label. Now press the key next to the Save Edit Route label. This menu lets you select the route number, name the route, and choose the waypoints used in the route. Select the route that you wish to create by pressing the key next to the increase or decrease route number labels. When the desired number appears, you can create or edit it. To assign a name to a route, press the key next to the increase route number or decrease route number label to move through the list of routes. When the desired route number appears in the window at the top of the screen, press the down arrow key until the black box moves to the name position. Now press the key next to the Change label. Use the keys on both sides of the screen to enter the waypoint name. When finished, press the key next to the Accept Name label. The LMS 350A returns to the route menu. You can now enter the waypoints used in the route. If you've named a route, the black box should be on the O at the top of the waypoint list. If not, move the black box to the O using the up or down arrow keys. Now press the numbered keys of the waypoint that you wish to go to first in the route. If you've named the waypoint, it shows in the blank space to the right of the waypoint number. Next, press the key next to the Accept label. The cursor should now be on the second waypoint line. Now enter the waypoint number for the second waypoint in the route. Press the key next to the Accept label. Continue entering waypoints until all of the waypoints have been entered for the route. Then press the key next to the Save Route label. This saves your route in memory. Please note that you must select waypoints in the order they are to be used in the route. To follow a route, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label. Then press the key next to the Route Planning label. Finally, press the key next to the Recall Route label. Route number 1 appears on the right side of the screen. The list of waypoints used in the route are shown beneath the route number and name. If you wish to recall a different route, press the key next to the Increase Route Number or Decrease Route Number label to cycle through the available routes. After you've selected the desired route, you'll notice a black box surrounding the first waypoint in the route. This is the starting waypoint box. If you wish to start the route using the first waypoint in the route, simply press the key next to the Start Route label. If you wish to start the route using a different waypoint, however, simply use the down arrow key to move the black box to the desired waypoint number. Then press the key next to the Start Route label. To follow a route backwards, press the key next to the Reverse label. Turning the arrival alarm off prevents the LMS 350A from sequencing to the next waypoint in the route. This, in effect, turns the route off. However, the unit will still show navigation data to the current waypoint in the route at the time the arrival alarm was turned off. To stop the LMS 350A from navigating to waypoint or navigating to a waypoint in a route, press the menu key twice. Now press the key next to the Cancel Navigation label. This stops all navigation. Canceling navigation does not erase the routes or any waypoints from memory. It merely stops the LMS 350A from navigating. Any part of a route can be changed at any time. Simply press the menu key. then press the key next to the More label. Then press the key next to the Save Edit Route label. Using the keys next to the increase or decrease route number labels, select the route number that you wish to change. Simply use the numbered keys to change the waypoint number. Next, press the key next to the Accept label. You've changed the waypoint. Now press the key next to the Save Route label. Finally, press the key next to the Exit label, and you're finished. To erase a route, first press the menu key, then press the key next to the More label. Now press the key next to the Route Planning label. Finally, press the key next to the Save Edit Route label. Now press the key next to the Increase Route Number or Decrease Route Number labels to cycle through the available routes. After you've selected the desired route, press the key next to the Erase Route label. This erases the route from memory. And finally, press the key next to the Exit label. This returns you to the GPS display. To adjust a GPS alarm, first press the menu key, then press the key next to the Alarms label. Now press the key next to the Desired Alarms label. Pressing the key moves the black box from Off to Adjust. A new box appears at the bottom of the screen, as shown. Using the numbered keys, enter the desired alarm trip distance. Once you've entered the desired numbers, press the key next to the Accept label. The black box automatically moves to the On position, and the number you entered appears at the far right side of the alarm's label. You can set any other alarm on this page or return to a navigation or plotter screen by pressing the key next to the Exit label. To turn an alarm off, simply press the alarm key, then press the key next to the alarm label until the black box moves over Off. The arrival alarm sounds a tone when your position is within the alarm's radius of a waypoint. For example, the alarm sounds if you come within 0.1 mile of a recalled waypoint if the arrival alarm's setting is 0.1 mile. The alarm is adjustable from 0.01 to 9.9 miles. The cross-track error alarm sounds a tone when your cross-track error is greater than the alarm's setting. Changing the cross-track error alarm also changes the cross-track error range on the steering screen. The alarm is adjustable from 0.0 to 9.9 miles. The anchor alarm sounds a tone when the present position moves outside a preset radius. For example, if you set the anchor alarm to 0.1 nautical mile or 600 feet, then the alarm will sound if you move more than 600 feet from the location where you set the alarm. It's adjustable from 0.01 to 9.9 miles. For the fastest acquisition of satellites, the LMS-350A must be initialized when it's turned on for the first time. However, if you need to change only one of the parameters, such as time, use the menu features in the Change Setup menu. To do this, press the menu key, then press the key next to the Change GPS Settings label, and finally, press the key next to the Set Latitude, Longitude, Altitude, Time, Date label. Using the menus on the menu page, you can change the initial position, time, date, or altitude without affecting any other initialization setting. All of these menus work identically to the ones described in the initialization section at the beginning of the GPS section. After you make a change, the unit returns to the GPS or plotter screen. Once you connect the wiring properly, the LMS-350A must be told which NEMA data format to use. Consult the owner's manual of the other equipment to see which format it needs, and then set the LMS-350A as follows. First, press the menu key. Next, press the key next to the Change GPS Settings label. Now press the key next to the Select NEMA DGPS label. The data format currently in use shows at the top of the screen. To change it, press the key next to the desired data output. Now press the Clear key. You'll have to tell the LMS-350A which beacon receiver's data to expect and set up the parameters for that data. To do this, first press the menu key. Then press the key next to the Change GPS Settings label. Now press the key next to the Select NEMA DGPS label. Press the key next to the desired beacon receiver. The beacon receiver is selected. Now you'll need to set it up for frequency and the bit rate of the station that you'll be using in your area. Now press the key next to the Set Up Beacon Receiver label. The station frequency and bit rate are shown on the right side of the screen. Press the key adjacent to the Increase Frequency to increase the station frequency or Decrease Frequency to decrease it. Do the same for the bit rate. Note that if you set the frequency to 0, the Starlink MRB2A will automatically change frequencies and bit rates for new stations as you travel. Otherwise, you'll have to manually change the frequency and bit rate when you move out of range of the current station. When the station frequency and bit rate are adjusted to their proper settings, press the key next to the Exit label. The LMS-350A returns to the last used GPS screen. The letters DGPS appear next to the position on all screens that show your present position, showing that the beacon receiver is working. To view the status of the beacon signal, press the menu key until the fourth menu page appears. Now press the key adjacent to the Differential GPS Status label. The LMS-350A can display navigation information in magnetic or true. When it's turned on for the first time, magnetic is used. To switch to true, press the menu key while a GPS screen is displayed. Next, press the key next to the Change GPS Settings label. Now press the key next to the Select Units of Measure label. Now simply press the key next to the Bearing label. This moves the black box from mag to true. Press the key next to the Exit label when you're finished. The preset feature returns all sonar and GPS units to their original factory settings. This resets the units of measure, speaker volume, display contrast, and more. This doesn't erase any waypoints or routes, however. To preset the unit, press the menu key until the preset sonar and GPS label appears. Press the key next to that label. The menu screen disappears and the LMS-350A returns to the GPS position screen. All units will be returned to their factory settings. If you lose sight of a person overboard, you can use the LMS-350A to help start a search pattern. Once you're back at the helm after initial rescue efforts have failed, press the LMS-350's Man Overboard key. Your position at the time you press the Man Overboard key is shown in the top left corner of the display. Beneath the position is the time that you pressed the Man Overboard key. At the bottom of the screen are the navigation data displays showing the distance, DTG, bearing, BRG, course, COG, speed over ground, SOG, and time to go, TTG, back to the position at the top of the display. Using these displays, along with the plotter in the lower right corner of the screen, gives you the information you need to steer back to the Man Overboard position. To stop the unit from navigating to the Man Overboard position, press the key next to the Disabled Man Overboard label. This resets the Man Overboard navigation. To turn the GPS simulator on, press the menu key. Then press the key next to the More label. Finally, press the key next to the GPS simulator Off-On label. The simulator mode starts immediately. To turn the simulator off, either press and hold the Off key or repeat these steps. We hope you enjoy using the LMS-350, and on behalf of Bennett Marine Video, wish you many happy voyages.